from SoFi Stadium. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And a pretty poor return as he will dive to the ground to give himself up. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. To throw is Stafford. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Riley Dixon now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Willis looking to throw on 1st down. This one goes underneath to Walker. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
But sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
Play fake. Here's Willis. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
On second down, it's Walker. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On third down, it's Willis. And that will be incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. From the 50, Stafford. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Stafford now to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Stafford. He finds his man, complete. It's Murray. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
Matt Gay on fourth field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out and says, let's get 30, right?
No one did I've ever met.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1. They'll try for the first with Walker. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
4-yard pickup on the play. And the Seahawks first down.
10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports.
Seahawks 10, Rams
3. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
2nd and 9.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Here we go.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Now Willis on 3rd down. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
Here's Walker. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. 2nd down, Willis looks to throw here. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Now the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3.
Makes the score Seahawks 17, Rams 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on the 17-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Yeah, it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not have the balls go through goalposts.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Back to throw, Stafford. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now. And the Rams had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come back.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That bumps us up to a 3-possession game here, and only in the second quarter, Charles. They're trying to put this game out of reach before we even hit the locker rooms for intermission.
What's even tougher is making up 3 possessions against a defense that can make impact plays like this. They don't have this game wrapped up quite yet, but 2 picks already, 1 to the house. I think it's fair to say they're headed in the right direction.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, now the good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? But the only guys who catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarter.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Taken in at the 11. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Forced out to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Maybe some indecision there on what looked to be an RPO. He wound up keeping it, but that defense right on him to strip it away.
And typically when we see that type of indecision on an RPO, that means it's well defended. He had nowhere to go with it, and that allowed the defense to get to him and knock it free and make it a turnover.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Stafford. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And with just 1 second remaining in the 1st half, they'll call the timeout. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Marquez Valdez-Scantling as time expires in the 1st half. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the 1st half. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They show great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here, as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Yeah. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd down throw coming by Willis. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped it. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now it's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Stafford. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And, boy, they hit that one.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Back to Walker on 1st down. And some room to work. Runs over it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Another 1st down there as this one goes for 25.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Joey Bosa in there to get him again. That is sack number 6. One off the NFL record of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll throw complete to Cam Akers. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome. But completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Stafford. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Joey Bosa in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, here's Stafford. He finds his man, complete. That's Wolf. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Here's Stafford. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action.
Let's go now.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right?
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown! Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Stafford. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think they'll be.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach has plenty to say about this game.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
11 yards on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Stay 50, stay 50.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Walker now on 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 50-yard line.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Rolling to his left. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Willis slides safely, and he picks up the 1st down. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished.